Hello and welcome to my beginner tutorial for the Witch of Fern Island. In this video I'm going to tell you about some really important information that you need. The game isn't very intuitive, so it doesn't really tell you about these things, so that's why I made this video to help you get the most out of this game. Let's get started. So when you start playing this game, you're gonna get quests to gather specific resources and make specific things. And some of these you can get in the season you start out in, and some you don't. And it's pretty early on that you start getting quests for things that are way ahead of the season you're in. So I really recommend that you look up a specific page on the Wikipedia fandom of the Fern Witch Island that I will show you. If you go to the witchoffernisland.wiki.gg, you can go on here on the left, it says tips and tricks. And if you scroll all the way down, you will see a seasonal checklist. Now this is really important. You don't necessarily have to click all of this if you don't want to spoil anything for yourself, but I do recommend keeping an eye on this list that you get everything you need that's on here in that season. Because the next season, it may no longer be available, and you're gonna need it in a quest that's up and coming that you don't know about maybe, and then you don't have it and you will have to wait until the next season. Now this game, it has 6 seasons and they're all 20 days long, so it's quite a long time that you're gonna have to wait. If, let's say, something you needed to get in Frost and you didn't get it, you missed it, and you're gonna have to wait a whole year to get it again, so that sucks. So make sure that you keep your eye on this list and check it all. If you want, you can click them and it will reveal a little map with the location on it. If you don't want to do this, you will have to find it yourself for the first time in game, and after you find it for the first time, you can go to your compendium here and then, for example, click on herbs. Let's do bitter leaf, and then up here there is a little marker. If you click this, it will turn on the radar for you on this specific ingredient or a resource. So now on the top you can see the radar and it's actively blipping, and as soon as I get close to this resource, which is here, it starts going wild. If you're just flying around and you want this resource, you'll get a notice, or if you really can't find the specific plant in the grass, sometimes it's hard to see, this thing can help you find it. So next up is plant and mineral research. I initially thought that you gained experience or research of plants by just finding and collecting them, but there's actually a specific checklist that you can follow to get higher tiers. So you can get XP from gathering the first 10 to 20 to 50, but after that you have to do specific things. And these things you can find again in your compendium. And let's go to bitter leaf again, and then up here it says about, and there's 2 arrows. If you click on this, you can actually go to the tab Discovery, and it shows you the checklist of things you can do to basically get more stars, which will give you better crops. So as you can see, you have to use it 5 times in crafting or to sell 10 in your stall, etc. So keep an eye on these things and see what you can do to get more research in. This one specifically, it says take a photo of a bitter leaf. That is one you can only do if you achieve the camera, and the camera is locked behind a quest, and this quest is locked behind a friendship level. So you need to befriend someone first to get this quest, to get the camera, to do this specific task. Taking pictures also appears on the notice board, so even if you don't have the camera and you just started the game, you can get this commission and you will not be able to complete it. So just ignore any commission that you cannot do. There are also commissions for resources that you cannot get in a season that you're playing in and you just started the game, and they ask you to get a specific fish that only drops like in winter. If nothing looks familiar to you, or it's anything that you haven't gathered yet, just don't get it. Don't do the commission. You'll just be frustrated that you'll not be able to complete it. Another way to gain research, and especially recipes for minerals, is mining. So I didn't realize early on that I needed to mine all this copper ore and iron ore that I ran into. I didn't need it for anything in my quest or for building, so I didn't gather any. But it turned out that you need to mine a specific amount of copper ore or any other mineral to learn a recipe for, let's say, a copper bar or a steel bar. So if you don't mine them, you don't get the recipe, and you are left wondering what the hell is going on. So make sure that you mine everything that you see to get all the recipes, all the unlocks, and make the progression in the game more smooth. Another important thing for getting recipes are the moon chests. So these are chests scattered all over the island. Some are pretty well hidden, some are easier to find, and the majority of them opens only during a specific moon phase. So for example, for this chest, when it's a waning gibbous, this chest will be open. If it's not a waning gibbous, this chest will be closed, so I can only get it during this time. And on the first time, you usually get a recipe for a potion or a meal that you can make or something else that could be quite important. So make sure that you focus on these chests if you see one, check the moon phase, and wait for it to open. You can use the Wikipedia page with the maps on it and the specific moon phases to really get the max out of it. Another thing to keep your eyes on are the mini puzzles. So right here I'm at a sound puzzle that I already did, and if you complete any puzzle you'll get a little reward. Again, these will be recipes, or they can be a star fruit or a space stone. Ester fruit and space stone are items that you can consume. I was saving them up because I thought I might need them later, but it turns out that you can actually consume them, and the ester fruit will give you more stamina, and the space stone will give you an inventory slot. So they are very handy to have and collect and then use. Another important aspect of the game is fishing. Now I recommend you start doing this early on, but only start fishing when you have enough money to buy the master fishing rod. I don't think the other lower tier rods are worth it. The fishing game can be quite tricky, and I just don't think that the lower tier rods are doing that good of a job to catch any of the fish. I was just frustrated most of the time. So once I got the master fishing rod, the game significantly became easier. So yeah, just save up the 6,000 ember if you can and get that one. Otherwise wait, unless you really want to spend a lot of time on fishing. For the fishing game itself, it's much easier to not cast your bait as far as possible. The closer it is to you, the easier the fishing game will be. It doesn't affect the quality of your fish if you have it close to you. It will just make the game easier. As you can see, the water starts splashing as soon as I have a fish. When it stops splashing, the fish is weakened and I can reel it in. The closer it is to me, the less struggle there is, because the journey for the fish towards me is much shorter, so it will take less time to reel in the fish in general. I was casting the fish very far initially, and it made some of the higher tier fish very difficult to reel in. Another thing to focus on pretty early on in the game, as soon as you're a little bit comfortable at your farm, start breeding Cufflow. It takes a lot of time to get all the Cufflow that you need, get all the eggs that you need, the combinations, breed them, and hatch the eggs. It takes 5 or 6 days to hatch an egg, and it's RNG again, so you may not get the Cufflow breed that you need to finish your witch exams if that's something you want to do. So yeah, if you wait till the end of the game to start breeding your Cufflow, I can tell you that I spent about 2 whole years in game, so that's what, 240 days, in-game days, to get all the Cufflow that I needed. Another thing I really want to tell you about is the Scarecrow. Now later on in the game, when you unlocked your way into the Astral Realm without dying, you are able to make a Scarecrow. So at the altar there is a ritual to create a Scarecrow, and you need all the components to compile the Scarecrow, which are found in the Astral Realm. Again, they are based on RNG, so it will take some time to find them and a lot of patience. But when you do, you can basically create a Scarecrow and it will be a helper on your farm. Now let's see where he's hanging out, because I'm always losing him and he's getting stuck in my garden house. Scarecrow. Ah, there he is. So you can ask your scarecrow to do a couple things, which is water crops, harvest crops, or pull out the weeds. So to use a scarecrow, you actually need to give him fuel. To water the crops, he needs water essence. So this does mean that he will consume some of your resources. If you're short on these resources, I wouldn't use the scarecrow, because I don't think he's as efficient as I was hoping him to be with watering crops. I do feel like he waters my crops, and I haven't seen a single plant die, and I have not been doing anything about it. But he doesn't water them all the way to the max, so it looks like he's only watering a few every day. So it does look like he's keeping my plants alive, but yeah, he doesn't water all of them. The other two options are pull out weeds. This works, as you can see. I let him do it once or twice. He does gather the woods and the weeds, but again, he's not very efficient at it. So if you have a very overgrown farm, he will not be able to remove all the weeds in one day. It's gonna take time. If you keep up with the weeds yourself, he will eventually keep up as well. Some weeds may slip and you still gotta do some work, but he will do the majority if you have a clean farm already. Then for the harvest crops one, I don't recommend using this because all the crops that he will harvest will not have a quality to them. So like this bell pepper is excellent quality. If I harvest this, I will unlock the excellent quality on it, and the scarecrow just doesn't do this. Especially when I harvest crops, I use a sickle. And when you use a sickle to harvest crops, you have a higher chance to also get seeds along with it. And the scarecrow doesn't use a sickle, so you'll not get any seeds from your crops that you used to plant again. So honestly, it's just a huge waste of a resource in my opinion. So yeah, just use watering crops or use the weeds if you like it. Another thing you should know about the scarecrow is that the ritual will remain active in your altar. I initially thought maybe I could make another one, so I could have one scarecrow watering crops, one scarecrow pulling weeds. It turns out I wasted all my time gathering the resources because it doesn't work. It just repeated the same scene with the same scarecrow and nothing changed. So don't waste your time like I did and just stick with one scarecrow if you really want to put in the effort for it. But I don't know, I'm not sure it was worth it. And then last but probably the most important fact about this game is that the sales at your witch stall are influenced by your town reputation. So the better you get to know everyone in town and the more you befriend them, the more they will visit your store and the more they will buy. If you don't befriend the citizens, they will not buy or will barely buy anything at your stall and you will barely make money. So make sure that you befriend everyone. I initially neglected most of the people because I was focusing on getting all the resources, getting frustrated where to find them, etc. And I didn't befriend anyone. And I was wondering why I wasn't making money. So it turns out town reputation is very important. The game does tell you this, but I forgot about it. Yeah, just make sure that you befriend everyone. Don't make the same mistake that I did. So yeah, these are some of the must-know tips about the Witch of Fern Island. I hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful. I do genuinely love the game. I just wish I knew about these things and expected the game to be more grindy and more RNG than I initially thought. But yeah, overall I think it's a cute game. If you want to give it a try, let me know and let me know how you felt about it and if this helped you. So yeah. Have a nice day.